The same second you said you got back, I had just sat down with an Oreo in my mouth. So I didn't have time. Like, you really gotta, like, slow the roll a little bit so I have time to do something before I fuck you over. I was actually watching Doug earlier. I was watching the thing where he was doing like a verses with his chat where like they were each trying to take over America, and like they do like a prompt into like one of the AI generators. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've not been watching a lot of his stuff lately, but I caught up on all the other stuff I had to watch. So I was like, I'll go back and watch some Doug stuff I've not been watching. You really should watch Let's Game It Out, because they have a very like Let's Game It Out. They don't have a. It's not that they have a similar vibe. It's like they have an adjacent vibe. You know what I mean? Anyways, I've been recording for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Yeah. And Let's Game It Out. This is a recording quit. We can't tell him. We can't tell them he's live right now because they're not watching live. He might be. Maybe like in 30 years when like people come back to watch these because like we're actually like moderately successful YouTubers. That's really like my long-term dream, is not that we'll be successful YouTubers, that we'll be moderately successful. We'll have like maybe a couple hundred views. But like some people will come back for this and be like, oh, I should go watch Doug. And it's like he's been dead for 15 years. Yeah. What do you mean that morbidly? It's just nothing. I didn't give any like clue as to like how he died. I just said 15 years from now or like 30 years from now. I said 30 years from now he will have been dead for 15 years. No, I just that he would have died 15 years before the people would have seen it. Ooh. Which class? Oh, I've struggled figuring out like a good sounding name for it. I've been like alternating it between calling it like Drakeling, Drake Guard. Like it's weird because like it almost needs to be like the lore needs to define a name for it of a world, because there's no generic version of it. Oh, that's tragic. Oh. Well, maybe. That makes sense. Well, I mean, like, you can get Metal Claw. Fuck Onyx up. Okay. That would make sense to how it features in lore. Yeah, Yeah. Well, like something like the Eldritch Knight, but for this class, it'd be interesting. Something. So like the main premise behind this class, which for those of you at home, this was something I wrote a long time ago. In my D&D world, dragons don't exist in the normal way you would think of them. Basically, any individual is born and then eventually finds out they are a dragon, and it's not like something that's passed through blood. It's just something that, like, you know, like once in a generation, like that kind of deal, where it's like just basically. And then this is something Quinn's character's not aware of, I don't think, but one of my player characters is basically. Well, you're not aware of the specific, necessarily the specifics of it, because I don't think they've voiced this to you. But there's a specific god that was in secret a dragon. It's not well known that they were a dragon, but characters with a connection to that god's portfolio will occasionally find themselves ending up becoming a dragon. And the problem with it is the dragon part of them kind of starts to go feral pretty quickly. So we need to full restore. So the two subclasses, there's the feral drake and the honed worm. The feral drake is basically characters that lean fully into the animalistic side. Salamence, you are not. Yeah, I mean, Salamence isn't defensive. So there's the feral drake and the honed worm. Feral drake is basically for people that lean into the more animalistic side of it and don't even attempt to control their draconic instincts. And then honed worm is for people that, you know, like meditate, focus on like the wisdom side of things, and really try to like lean into it. But that's how that works in the canon of my world. Adjusting this for another world and making it more generic. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, in general, like class design, that is the reason why there were only two classes. But if you were trying to develop this class so that is more generally applicable to games, adding in additional subclasses like that would totally fit. I was gonna say, I have actually been doing even more subclass homebrewing. I mentioned it on Facebook. I don't know if you saw. It's not finished yet. I've been working on a plague bearer subclass. So the gimmick for this subclass, because it's something I was talking about with Ricky for a while. So do you know what's unique about bats' immune system? As I understand it, bats' immune systems make them immune to the effect. Like, this is a super dumbed down version of what it actually is. So any bat biologist, my sister, who's a bat biologist, if you're in the chat, don't get on my ass about this, because I don't fully understand it. But as I've understand it from a couple of passing articles I've passingly read, basically a bat's immune system makes it so it isn't affected by the effects of the disease. but it's the disease. It doesn't like kill the disease inside of it, so it still fully harbors it and can fully infect someone else, but it doesn't get affected by the disease at all. And this causes like really powerful diseases to be bred in it to get past that very unique immune system. But so basically the idea was, what if we did a character that they're like a mad scientist or whatever, or maybe it's natural biology, where they have a very unique immune system where they don't care about the effects of the disease, but they can still harbor it, and then they can basically do like a Shino from Naruto, where like they have like a symbiotic relationship with the disease and use it to infect other people. So basically, like similar to how and most subclasses have like you have a number of known this thing. Of like specific abilities you get to like the Blood Hunter does that, the Artificer does that, something like that, where you have a number of diseases you're known that you have affected with that you can use using a special ability to infect someone to get like a very specific debuff on them, and can do it a limited number of times per round. And the additional fact that, hey, you know, GMs, some use them a lot, some don't use them a lot, but sometimes you can just get a specific disease from the environment of an area you're in. For this character, if that happens, hey, you just added a new disease to your weapon list. So that was the whole, by the way, this build also has been doing a lot of damage to Duskbottom. I didn't want to switch into something else because Duskbottom is like our tankiest mon, but it's being so obnoxious. So basically you have a number of diseases that you are harboring that increase as you go on. You can also get diseases by just being infected by them as you normally would. And then like I'm adding, it's going to be a spellcasting class. It's going to be a half caster like a paladin or an artificer. It's got this thing where it specifically is diseases. I have a bunch of subclasses planned for it. I am doing a thing where I'm adding specific abilities that can work generally for things, but make blowguns specifically a lot better, because it feels in the theme with the character. And also blowguns in 5e are trash. They're the worst weapon because they literally deal maximum and minimum of 1 damage per attack. The only appeal to them is that you could put poisons in them and use them to deliver poisons. None of the source books give any details on any of those poisons, so the GM has to make it up themselves. And also, arrows can do the same thing. And they've got worse range. So in general, just blowguns are terrible in D&D. So I want to make a subclass that basically it's got one ability that adds like 1d4 poison damage to all their weapons. Or if it's a blowgun, 3d4 poison damage, and then as you get higher levels, the dice size increases. I also giving a specific ability that specifically with blowguns, you can infect pieces of ammunition and spread that way, because that seems fun. And subclasses. So here are my ideas for subclasses. First one, lycanthropy. Basically, slightly more tankier. It's an ability to transform into like a specific type of lycanthrope and get a couple of bonuses. Can infect people with claw and bite attacks, and will get an exclusive disease depending on which type of lycanthrope you choose. Like if it's a wolf lycanthrope, it'll get this disease. If it's a rat lycanthrope, it'll get that disease that you can then infect people with. Next one, zombie virus. Basically, you get an exclusive disease that you can infect people with that does a lot of damage over time, and then once they die, you can raise them as a zombie for yourself to control. Basically becoming like the initial World War Z. And then the final one is pandemic, where basically the idea of it is it doesn't focus as much on stronger diseases. Instead, it focuses on going wide with the diseases, where you can infect more people at once and you can spread infection from one person you've infected to another person. And I've designed 2 levels of this class so far, so it's still very much in the development. But I really like the idea of it and looking forward to playing with it. I also, what was the other? I had another idea. I have a notes app for it. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I also wanted to do, and this is like only an idea. I've not even fleshed out like what the initial abilities will be. I want to design a class that like basically has almost no class abilities. Like all of its abilities come from its subclass abilities, but its gimmick is it gets to pick 2 subclasses from any of the martial classes that it gets to keep and it gets to use. So you can mix and match different subclasses for like weird combinations that do extra special stuff, which I think would be very fun. The trick with it is you gotta figure out how do you do things like the monk subclasses, which rely on ki, or the paladin subclasses, some of which need spell slots for their abilities. Stuff like that would be tricky. So there'd have to be like very specific wording, like if the subclass you choose is paladin subclass, you get these spell slots, or if it's a monk subclass, you get these spell slots. And also you're gonna need specification of like you cannot take the same subclass from monk levels so you can't double up on like specific wording like that. But I think that could be really fun. Make it like a copycat martial artist kind of thing. I got lost in that. What are we doing next? We just killed Erica. We at no point from the time we walked in the building to the time we walked out, we addressed the fact we were fighting Erica maybe twice. Yeah, nothing in here. I guess fight Sabrina. We're only at like 17 minutes. Okay, Sabrina's gym's always an annoying one. So the way I remember this is you just go to the vertical of wherever you're at, and eventually you get there. And I know it's not the fastest path. You probably have to hit every single thing on your way, but you will eventually get there. Did he just Destiny Bond? Okay. Who wants to take a future sight? Is a Claydol coming in too? Yeah, Trunk. Well, it's special, so I'm gonna say Dusk Bottom, because Dusk Bottom, especially defensive, Trunks really is not. Confuse Ray. Yeah, that was the good play. Will-O-Wisp it. And now we curse, right? No, we'll die. The other thing I forget about, Dusk Bottom actually has pretty decent physical attack. Yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't have Salaman's attack, but it's got decent for what it's at. For something that's only supposed to be our wall, I mean, let's look. 152. That is not, like, is nowhere near his defenses, which is the main appeal, but that is not bad. We're also definitely going to need to use the Pokemon Center before we fight her. I swear, like, there's something in the code where once you move, they immediately snap to where you are no matter what. It's ridiculous how... It's ridiculous how they do that. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. That's not a psychic type either. She's not gonna have anything that's gonna... Sabrina's actually kind of tricky because we don't have many super effective options for her. We literally just have Crunch and Shadow Sneak. See, like every time. There's no way to get past them, right? It's not me being crazy here. Like, they pretend to be looking somewhere else, but the moment you move, they snap to wherever you were looking. Also, Sabrina's like almost on level with, or like these guys are almost on level with us. Is Sabrina gonna be like in the 70s? This might be the last gym that we don't need to grind for. I might need to do grinding after this. Ooh, Medichan. You get Ice Punch. Power Trick. Why would you Power Trick? I was about to say, like, oh, we're getting by a lot of these people without having to battle, and then I realized it's because we already battled. Yeah, we've battled everybody. Okay, we're here. Okay, you remember that, because I'm not going to. I've played this and Fire Red 17,000 times, Quinn, and I have never once learned where the right thing to go is. Hell no. I don't pick up the phone for my real world mom. I also like that, like, the phone immediately goes off once you, like, change screens. Like, you're losing service. Yeah. Sorry, Mom, I'm going through a Pokemon Center. Alright, you tell me when I need to stop and go through a thing. Which thing? Right here? Bottom right is where we came in from. What are you? Anyways, wait, let me get a voice going for Sabrina. Did you know Mom sold her cross for cigs? Fly. Did you know Ash has another Gengar? Or, well, I guess his first Gengar. Because remember how versus Sabrina he had a Haunter for like a couple of episodes and then returned it? He's got a Gengar now. Yeah, that's Sword and Shield, his team, he has a Gengar. And it's totally unrelated, because like I saw on like a thing that was saying like, oh, here's Ash's like A-star team for the, because there's the big like tournament with all the champions going on. Also, like his A-star team is like 1 or 2 mons from like old gens, and then just like all of his current team. So it's not like they make it out like, oh, he's grabbing like all his ace Pokemon from all the gens. Like, no, they're not. Like, he grabbed Sceptile and then kept his team exactly the same. It's not an A-star team. It's just you brought 1 Pokemon back. No, he doesn't even have Greninja. He got rid of Greninja. I think Greninja trained one of his current mons actually, because he gave up Greninja, and then like the next, because remember how they used to do that where it's like, oh, we'll go back to like this mon we haven't seen in a long time so he can train his current mon. Like they used to do that, but it was like 4 or 5 seasons between when you last saw the mon. Now they did that with Greninja, but he literally got rid of Greninja last season. So it was kind of stupid, but yeah, no, like his like current team is pretty much the same. Oh fuck! I should have switched in to Dusk Bottom. Our only chance is if we outspeed it and kill it with Crunch, right? I should have paid attention. I didn't want to have to do a thing. I specifically didn't want to have... This is what happens when I get distracted complaining about the Pokemon anime. Because now, before our next recording session, I'm gonna have to take a day. This thing doesn't have any attacking moves, so I'll just curse it. Before the next time we record, I'm gonna have to take a day to, 1, make the new freaking death thing. This is the same way we lost Probopass too. It was Wobbuffet. No, it's not immune because we hit it before. It's just missing. Well, who cares? I'm ignoring you. See, it works. You can't prove that it didn't. Or did they? Yeah, he stuck us into doing Will-O-Wisp. Whatever. Shut up, Sabrina, we don't care. But yeah, no, he's... Ooh, we have skill swap. Is there a mon on our team that has a bad skill? Like Regigigas doesn't have slow start anymore. Does it have like Truant? Oh, it does not have huge power. No, I think it has a neutral ability, like an ability that's not ridiculous, but it's not bad either. I think it has like pressure. Yeah, it's pressure. Yeah. So Salamence is dead. How do we feel about this? That is what I said, isn't it? I kind of want to put Barbas on the team, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I mean, you're for Giratina, I'm for Barbas. I'll admit Giratina is outright better. Why did we name him John? No, it was because I asked who wrote Paradise Lost, and you were like, is John Jacobson or something like that. I'm like, it is not. Yeah, it was really an absurd name for someone who wrote such an influential, like, Renaissance era piece. But... so we're going with John. We have 2 more encounters we can get. No, we have 1 more encounter, right? I think we have 1 more encounter we can get right now. We probably want to do physical John, right? Because we want fly. Do we have the toxic TM? Because if he's got fly and shadow force, toxic would be pretty fun for him, actually. No, we got poison jab. They couldn't have given us a second toxic, so they give us a second poison jab. We got 1 encounter we can do right now. If it's something better, more fitting than John. We got that already. Gonna paralyze heal. Yeah, if I paralyze heal, I'm just gonna switch him out for someone that will outspeed stuff. I gotta do the photoshopping and honestly, oh, we had your evolution. We had Turkey Tree. Salamence was such a fun member. We don't have a Rotom. Is there like a gift mon nearby we can get? Look up the event stuff because we're gonna name him Bodum. It's Bodum. Yeah, there's a special event guide. There's gifts where we can get starters if we've got the original starters nearby here. I know one of them isn't here. Yeah, Professor. Well, I actually thought it was Steven Stone. But... he's in Azalea? I thought he was in Silphco. Yes. We need to drop off a team member. I think he might actually give us both of them. So let's drop off 2 people that we're not going to use right now. Where's the... isn't Azalea for Steven? Where's the one for the Hoenn starters? Or no, Steven is the Hoenn starters. Where's the one for the Sinnoh starters is what I'm thinking. I'll drop these 2 off because Giratina is going to be our flyer. Pewter. We've not been there yet, have we? No, we have. We have. We beat Brock, didn't we? I think we beat Brock. Oh, that's probably where the unknown are. Oh, I know where that is. Okay, so we got yes. Yeah. The only one we didn't have was the Professor Oak Gen 1 because last recording session that happened. They didn't come with names. We will name them when we decide to use them. Blaze and Overgrow is kind of lame. We've got things for grass and fire, so I'm not itching to use either of those, but... Which ones were in Azalea? That's the, Okay, Pewter and Dig Site. It sucks that we can't get... Because Charizard, actually, I'd kind of be down for at this point. Or a Flyer, another fire... Like, we could double up on Fire type. That's not too bad. We'll get rid of Earth Power. We got plenty of coverage for that. I'm thinking John is just going to be defensive and physically offensive. That's my plan for John. Okay, go to Pewter. We don't, and I assume we're not planning on treating these as tokens. Unless you'd rather treat them as tokens, but I think getting starters is fun. And it'd be like 6 tokens. Drop Chikorita off. Chikorita's actually like a really good mon if Trunks dies. I honestly think Chikorita is like honestly probably my favorite of the starters this gen. People give it a shit a lot because it's a support mon and that's not normally how you... Where in Pewter is this? It's not in the museum. Do you know what building in Pewter it is? There should be a picture nearby, I think. Does it look like it's in the museum or does it look like a normal building? Okay, so not the museum then. No. Oh, it's nighttime. Right here? God, I forgot how many legendaries were in Gen 3 compared to previous gens. Oh, Deoxys doesn't have... Yeah. 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 Or like was just starting to be. Get in there, Reggies. Yeah, and there was like... Yeah. Well, it was you're supposed to use cut against the wall. Fun fact, I used to back when I was trying to hunt the laddies. By the way, he wasn't in any of the houses. I thought you Oh, requiring to get to Azalea Town. Maybe not. Is that also require fucking what? We just got... You mean got 2? Well, that's when you can initially do it. Yes. It's the what's the after you beat the Elite Four on Steven? It doesn't? What does it say on Steven? But he's not in Pewter City. What? And the Hoenn starters are kind of like the ones that I would want to pick one of them. Okay, so we have Swampert already, but yeah, we could complete this trifecta and get Sceptile. Okay, Cynthia. Oh. You want you to be up front. We actually already have an Empoleon too. Yeah, so we really just get Chimchar out of this. Do we want to treat the Piplup as a token then? In that case, get one last encounter for today, and we'll figure out Steven another time, I guess, because who knows what he's up to. It does really look like, unfortunately, Giratina is going to be our... Yeah, he's still Blaze. Giratina is going to be our new team addition. Making our team somehow even more Little Timmy than when we had a Salamence. Like, what's the only not Little Timmy Mon we have is Duskbottom. Everything else is a pseudo-legend, a legend, or a starter. Do we want to do the encounter here, or do we want to do it somewhere with a higher level? Yeah, less grinding for me. I'm so upset that... It's not even like, I'm not upset because Salamence died. I'm upset because I gotta do a thing now. Like, the grinding I would have been fine doing. Using something other than Salamence, I don't care. It's literally just, I've gotta edit something. Alright, give me... What do we want from this? What's like something we'd really like to see? What's our number one wish for an encounter? Number one. It's not in this game. What's our number one wish of a Mon, of and exclusively of Mons that are in this game? I'd also settle for a Deoxys. It's a nifty Mon, you don't get to see it a lot. Anyways. What do we do? I don't wanna catch it! I don't wanna catch it! No, but I don't wanna catch it! I want a different encounter! It's hurt us too much! It can't join us. So we kill it! But then that counts as our encounter. We only have one encounter left. I want to just say we're too angry. I don't like this. Yes? I don't know. Yeah, what changes has Wobbuffet had? Is that all? Oh, it sucks. It's literally just it learns Mimic. Politoad! My favorite of the Poly evolutions. I like the King's Drop ones. They're fun. Jeez. I want to see Rayquaza. We're gonna edit out like everything that happened until now. We have a fossil for you. That's... What about the one before that? What about that one where you said all that racist shit? Okay. Good. What about... What about the one where you gave away my social security number? I think you did. Oh. It's Chap! It's Chap! Umbreon is what we planned on evolving Chap into. It's Chapette. Chappy. This could be our encounter. And I'm just... Honestly, like, technically we've already had the one encounter we agreed we had, and it was a why not. And I've just been encountering a bunch of shit and ignoring it. This could be our encounter. If you wanted it to be. Remember how much you loved Chap? Chap was the first Mon to die. We did catch that one. Alright, let's go sacrifice the why not to the gods. You know what? We have so many cloisters. You know what? This why not? I'm not gonna make a card for it because I don't want to. Do you also want to make a card for Salamence? I don't want to do Salamence. If I send you the thing, and you could do both of them, and then I would only have to do the grinding. Yeah. I'll send you the thing. Bye! Yes! We never loved you. We never loved you. Should we have an outro? Do you want to do the outro this time? Because normally I do it and then you yell at me.